All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. And again, don't forget to take advantage of the flash sale. Again, 60% off active trader, 20% off other subscriptions, and all the courses, all that stuff for the rest of the month, actually until June 13th. So I got some great deals there at carnivoretrades.com. All details are available on my Twitter too and my pinned post as well. Anyway, let's get into it today. So there's not much to talk about really. Pretty much everything I said yesterday applies to today. Why? Because we stayed in the same exact range. Now we are getting a little bit of a bid up. It's 320. I'm doing the video a little early. And the reason I'm doing that is because look at this. This is like, it's going to get worse too. So 20.2 million shares. It's 3:20 p.m. The market closes in 40 minutes. So this is incredibly light. And tomorrow, I mean, if you guys can take a day off, I might recommend that because it's going to get even worse because the market is just going to sit there and wait for Nvidia all day tomorrow. So, but we have stayed in the same range here. We do have, I'll say we do have a 20-year auction at 1 o'clock. And then we have Fed minutes at 2 p.m., but those aren't going to be anything more than a little algo move if I'm not, unless I'm really misjudging it, but I don't think I am. Or unless we get some type of news in the morning. So I would say outside of the first half hour to 40 minutes of the day, it's going to be really quiet tomorrow. But you can see here the light volume really taking over. We're finally getting up to my target from this morning. So one level I was talking about was 53.30, and you can see here on the ES we broke that this morning, and then we back tested, and the volume just so light we just floated right up. We came back for a back test, hammered, tested it to death, and again volume so light you don't want to fight the light volume. This is what can happen. You get the sense that the market wants to kind of retrace and go down, but there's just not enough liquidity for sellers to get it to really follow through, and we just float right back up, and we're now right to that 53.42-ish target, which is on SPX right near 53.20. So I was looking for that earlier today. We never quite got there, and we just kind of chopped around, but really an anemic market here. This is a little resistance, right? So we broke down, we bull flagged here, we broke down, so that should be resistance here on the upside. But again, right now, we're basing. I talked about this yesterday. If we just go sideways, we base for a move higher. If we start to break some of these levels, we got to break 5,300 before we even talk about this, but we break 5290 area. That's going to take us down here. If that breaks, then we could actually correct through time and not price and not time. But right now, this is just a tight bull flag. So you can see it on the SPY, you can see it on ES, you can see it on QQQ, you can see it on NQ. Very tight bull flag, right? So no problems. Everybody's talking about, oh, we're just going to break out on Nvidia. That's the only problem I have with it, is because everybody thinks we're just going to break out on Nvidia. So, by the way, only an 8.5% move is baked into the Nvidia cake right now. I've been telling you guys, the market makers are on top of Nvidia. We're not getting a 30% move again. If we do, I'll be wrong, but I'd be shocked at this point. It's gotten upgraded a million times. They're going to crush earnings, but the question is positioning that lopsided, or does it get that lopsided, and do they talk about margin compression? That's really what it comes down to. We'll see what we get tomorrow. Again, this has a good pattern too, but last couple of times they've had earnings, we've had gap and crap type moves, right? Big move up and then a sell. Big move up and then a sell. I think there was another one in here somewhere, but either way, it just seems too obvious. If it happens, it happens. Like I said, I've been pretty bullish here, telling you guys that that's the case here, and I do think we're going to go a lot higher throughout the summer. But I would also like to see a shakeout first. Again, that's my preference. The market doesn't have to listen to me. I also think that I prefer this moving average 20 MA to catch up to price a little bit more. So maybe it's a gap and crap, then we chop around. By the way, Vixpiration tomorrow. So volatility may become a little more unpinned. Volatility's just been absolutely roasted here. Look at the VIX here. Below the 11 handle. VIXY getting killed. VIXM getting killed. So they're all getting smoked there. So again, maybe they get a dead cat bounce and that can bring us back in. But ultimately, nothing's changed from yesterday. But tomorrow, it's going to be tough to watch. I'm going to try and trade the open and hopefully you can make some money right off the open here. But after that, I think it's really going to dry up. We might get a little algo move, like I said, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock Fed minutes, and then the 20-year auction. But, outside of that, it's getting really dry out there. That favors neutral to upside. That doesn't mean we can't pull back, but when you pull back on light volume, it's usually a buying opportunity. So, again, nothing really to change here. Q's up 21 cents. Microsoft having a really good day. I did pull back a little bit. Made a new intraday all-time high. And now pulling back here. Might still make a new all-time closing high, though. So Microsoft holding up. Tesla, the big winner on the day. That is pulling back just a touch here. The final half hour now. But good pop there. Trend line. A little bull flag. And then a good bid there for Tesla. So that was kind of the big winner in tech land today. Some of the semis were on the softer side. Broadcom down 1%. Even Nvidia itself was a little bit weaker this morning. I believe AMD down 1.1. So tech kind of mixed. Apple is holding up okay. Tesla and Microsoft and Google kind of leading the charge. But Amazon and Meta on the weaker side. So again, kind of a mixed bag here. Again, let's not make too much out of it at the current time here. But again, nothing's really changed from yesterday. IWM here, again, on the weaker side this morning, which is a little strange because bonds actually got a bid. Watch this trend line here, by the way, on the ZB. I'll talk about that with bonds in a second. But bonds got a bid, and IWM still down 42 cents. Again, I won't make too much out of it right now. This still has room for a higher low, and I think this may be starting to set up to finally push, maybe in the next week or so. But this is the big level here, 210, 212. If it can get through that, then it's on breakout. But IWM a little bit on the weaker side today. Again, down, same kind of pattern, up move, and it's just kind of pulling back on light volume, declining volume on the pullback. That's not bearish. So, maybe it has to come back and retest 392, 392.50, maybe fill the gap. But pattern-wise, it's fine. Semis, again, down 65 cents right now on the SMH. Again, this pattern is still bullish here. So it's consolidating beneath that high. Same thing with the SOX. That's still a resistance until proven otherwise, though. Cloud, I think I talked about this yesterday. This is intriguing to me because you've got that trend line break, and you have a failed weekly inside bar. So I definitely think cloud is interesting here. I think we have Snowflake earnings tomorrow, too. That's going to get overshadowed by Nvidia, but we'll see how that plays out. This chart's actually kind of firming up, too. Earnings are a crapshoot, could go either way, but you have a, you can't really see it on the weekly. You have kind of little, like, inverse head and shoulders type look here on the daily. So we'll see what that does. Again, who knows? They could crap out again, and it could go right back down. But cloud is interesting with that weekly pattern. So I'm definitely keeping that on watch right now. Dow transports continue to be absolutely soft as butter. Look at this. Filling the gap here. Big sell down. Didn't even bounce at 15.3 like I talked about. Just cut right through it. So just cut right through it today. Look at this. Gap down and just gap and go to the downside. So if you were following the transports only, you'd think that this market was getting crushed right now, but it's not. Yeah, transport's definitely weak. Let me just take this fib here. I think it's into a... Yeah, this is just hit the 618. This should bounce tomorrow. Even if it's just a dead cat, it should at least bounce tomorrow. But transport's definitely not very strong right now. And they haven't been for a while. All right, so let's get over to rates here. Yep, there we go. So 2-year, again, pulling back just a little bit today. Nothing terrible here pattern-wise. This could stay firm and then push back up towards 5. Same thing with 5s. The short end of the curve is a little bit stronger. 10s are a little bit weaker, as are 30s. But the level, and you can see it right there, that little triangle. I like, it's a little bit cleaner on the ZB, just 30-year bond futures. So take a look at this green bar low. You guys know I love those breakout bar lows. 116.24. Trend line up sloping, and with that green bar low there. So if that breaks, that's going to likely send yields up a little bit. And then you have this trend line here, which is a little bit more dominant. It's been going on for a lot longer. A breakout above that sends yields lower, obviously, which would be conducive to stocks rallying most likely, unless they go up too fast. At some point, would that be bad for the market? Yes. Do I think bonds are going to rally that much? No, not really. But again, everything has counter-cyclical bounces. Nothing goes down in a straight line. But watch those levels. Watch that. If that gets broken tomorrow, I mean, Nvidia is going to have to save the market. They always do. But it'll be something to watch there. If yields could go up, that could throw some water on the rally, and perhaps get us into that shakeout period, that liquidity grab that I was suggestive of a few minutes ago. XHP here down 31 cents. This continues to be weak. Look at this price action. Down move and really inside bar all day. So hourly, you can make a case, yeah, that's an hourly bear flag, really. Now, is the worst thing? No, I mean, the trend is still up. It's very strong in the big picture, but lately it's been weak. Right, here's your big move from last Wednesday or whatever, and we've just been pulling back since then. But look at the spiders, tight bull flag, right? So XHP still weak. I'm not going to make too much out of it, but it is. VNQ down 19 cents. Again, you still got support at 83.25, and there's a gap right there as well. So it's holding up. There's your big resistance. XLF was a little bit softer today, although it did come back by the end of the day. Again, light volume, just floating everything back up. So we gapped up. We kind of rolled over. It looked like we might go red there with the markets. And then we just kind of floated back up throughout the rest of the day. So it was able to come back. KRE was on the weaker side, though. That's up just 4 cents right now. That trend line still acting as resistance. KBE up 17 cents. Again, that weekly chart is still on the cusp of a big breakout. And then we have the broker dealers here up 0.25% here, still pushing all-time highs. Oil today had some news, down 64 cents. Again, Biden draining the SPR again. It was kind of a non-event. There was not really a reaction that I saw. I don't think this was a reaction. I think it was announced around 1 o'clock. But you can see here, just down 64 cents, and we're not even really at the lows of the day. So it looks like the market was factoring it in anyway. It's not really right now. We're just consolidating here. And in fact, if you look at the weekly, you have a bearish inside bar here. So that could be setting up. It needs to set up a little bit more. There's a lot of buyers right here that broke this out. So if it's going to break down, it's going to need a little bit more. But definitely not good price action. I said this yesterday too. Iran's president getting assassinated is like, if you wanted me to come up with a bullish headline for oil, like engineer a bullish headline for oil, I'd be like, oh yeah, something to do with like an assassination, a geopolitical, especially Iran or Israel, right? And we got that headline Sunday night, and oil was still red, so not a good sign. But either way, we're in that range here. If it pushes up, 81 is your short-term resistance. XLE here down 20 cents. That was weak all day long. Actually, I checked that. It rallied up in the morning, then rolled over pretty hard in the late morning, and it stayed down there. Same thing with XOP and OIH, but they're not terrible right now. They're still holding up okay. CCJ still hanging in there, no problems. URNM, no problems. URNJ, no problems. Nat Gas finally putting in a red candle. Is this ready to pull back? Maybe. Pretty good action there. I like the big outside move, then the tail here. It is holding kind of like the intraday double bottom. We'll see. I'm not, Nat Gas is tricky. It could easily be up tomorrow. Not a lot of volume either, so not really indicative of a climax. Let me just check the N. Getting there, but not really quite. We had a lot of volume yesterday. I'd feel better if it got to 3 about calling an interim top. This could easily just go sideways too and then go higher. But Nat Gas finally pulling back here. I'm not doing anything with it right now. Dollar index, Nothing terrible, up 6 cents. You do have a big wide range red candle you're inside of. If you go sideways, it can break down. But if it works its way back above that, it can fail and then go a lot higher. Again, weekly still is more dominant. And the weekly is still bullish on the DXY for now. Gold, a little bit of a nothing burger. No problems. Retrace. Flat day. Silver, retracing. And then popping back up. Actually had a trigger on a sell here in the trading room that worked out. Didn't quite get an entry here on the hourly, but it was good for about, yeah, it was almost $1 there, looks like, on that silver there. But yeah, it's still holding up, and this can still go higher. It's starting to get very stretched though. Platinum backing off, but then popping back to green. No problems there. Palladium inside hammer, no problems there. And then copper here, doji. Again, it's getting top heavy, but and it is parabolic on the daily and the weekly. Monthly, not quite. You just broke out of a big base, so that's your positive. I cannot chase it up here, but you know, it's holding up. So yeah, we'll leave it there. All right, Bitcoin, again, through the previous all-time high, but it did come back in by the end of the day. No real problems. Again, that measured move should get us to a new all-time high on this. And then we'll kind of go from there. We'll see. This might need to bull flag a little bit. There's a little bit of supply, right? We came down. Sellers came up here and pushed it lower. So it might need to consolidate to get there, but Bitcoin's still holding up just fine. ETH got that approval, it looks like, or a lot of support for it. And it's getting a big bid. So sector looks fine. Looks like Spider's getting, yeah, we're getting a little bit of a bid here. So we finally got to my target. Finally. Took it all day. And we'll see, 53, 25, yeah, so we're right in that area. Again, what I really like too about this is the deltas here. And I talked about this on Twitter this morning, but the 5,300, it's a lot of people study 0DT, but you got to watch everything though. Those deep in the money deltas will tell you how they're putting floors in place. You see that 15, that big stick right there? It shows you that they're raising the floor here. And then on the other side, they're putting in a ceiling when you see those big you know, sticks there. But either way here, 25, 20 in this area, so we should close right around here. Again, market's close in about 20 minutes. I don't want to make too much out of it. But again, do we break out in Nvidia? I don't know. It just seems a little baked into the cake to me. But again, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm not bearish even if we do retrace. So again, that's what I'm going to go from, just how I'm going to look at it going forward here. 5,300, 5,290 breaks, then we could see some more backing and filling to 5,265. We'll keep it simple there. So anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all tomorrow.